Okay, solution of Fredholm integral equation by resolvent kernel. It's an iterative process. Okay, this is an iterative process. So this is the standard form of Fredholm integral equation. The main difference between Fredholm and Volterra is, in the case of Fredholm equation, everything is same except the limit. Okay, in the case of Volterra, limits are definite, some constants a and b. In the case of Volterra equation, in general, the one limit is constant, other limit is variable x. Okay, that is the difference between Volterra and Fredholm equation. Okay, already we have seen how to solve Volterra type equations. Okay, now we are going to solve Fredholm type equation. There are different methods for solving integral equations. We will discuss only some special type of methods. Okay, this is an iterative method. Consider the Fredholm equation y of x is equal to f of x plus lambda integral a to b kxt y of t dt. Okay, so here f of x is known, this function is known, we have to find this unknown function y of x. This y of x is unknown. Okay, and every other terms are known. F of x is known, lambda is known. Lambda is a parameter, may be given or it's a constant. And kxt is also a non-function. Okay, so we have to find the unknown function y of x. That is our main problem. So in this method, first we define kernels. They are called iterated kernels. Okay, this is also called a kernel of the integral equation. This kxt is called kernel of the integral equation. Okay, and we define new functions that are called iterative kernels, iterated kernels. And k1xt, first we define k1. And what is k1? K1 is same as kxt itself. What is our kernel of the integral equation? That is the our k1 of xt. Then we iteratively define another thing, k2. K2 is defined using k1, right? Because k2 of xt is defined like this: integral a to b kxs. We are replacing t by s on kxt. Okay, into k1 of st. We just replacing x by s in k1. Okay, so integral a to b kxs into k1 of st dt. In the case of k2, we know that k1 is same as k itself. So actually, in the case of k2, this become k. Okay, in the case of k2, this become kxs into k1 is same as k. Okay, so this become actually kst. Okay, one ds is there. Ds. Okay, k2 of xt equal to integral a to b kxs into k1 of st ds. The integration is with respect to s, not x and t. Integration is with respect to s. Okay, so here we defined k2 using k1. That's why this is iterative. Okay, in each time we define, in general we define kn using kn minus 1. Okay, then what is k3? Analogously, what is k3? What is k3 of xt? Integral a to b. What is the analogous definition of k3? In terms of k2. കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ലേ? Hello?
Okay, welcome, sir.
Okay. So this is k2. Then what is the definition of k3? What is analogous definition of k3? Integral a to b. നിങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞോ, തെറ്റണെങ്കിൽ തെറ്റണ്ടേ, എന്താ പ്രശ്നം?
Integral a to b k of xs.
Yes.
K2 into k2 of st.
Yeah, k2 of st ds. Okay, the integration is always with respect to s. This is k3. So here we defined k3 using k2. That's why this is iterated kernels. Okay, we iteratively define next kernel. Okay, so in general we can define kn of xt is equal to integral a to b kxs. Kxs means we replacing t by s on kxt, and this is kn minus 1. We define kn using n minus 1 to kernel, n minus 1 to iterative kernel. So kn minus 1 st ds. You can continue like this. Okay, so this is the idea of iterated kernel. We can define k1. K1 is kxt itself. Then we can define k2 using k1. Then we can define k3 using k2, like that. Okay, so they are called kernels, iterated kernels. Okay, next we define another term that is called resolvent kernel. Okay, so using iterated kernels, we can define resolvent kernel. Resolvent kernel is Rxt lambda. Rxt lambda, because this resolvent kernel depends xt and lambda. That's why this is a function of xt lambda. Okay, what is Rxt lambda? Rxt lambda is defined like this: sigma n equal to 1 to infinity kn of xt into lambda raised to n minus 1. Okay, so this means what? When n equal to 1, this is k1 of, okay, when n equal to 1, this become k1 of xt, k1 of xt into lambda raised to 0, right? When n equal to 1, this become 0, so lambda raised to 0. We know that lambda raised to 0 is 1. Okay, so plus k2 of xt into lambda plus k3 of xt into lambda square, etc. This infinite series is called resolvent kernel. Okay, so the one drawback of this method is applicable only when this infinite series is convergent. Okay, otherwise we can't apply this method. Okay, so actually there is no general method for solving integral equation. There is no general method. Okay, for a special type of integral equations, we can apply some method. For other type, maybe some other method. Some equations are not solvable, even not solvable. Okay, so here, and this method is applicable. This resolvent kernel method is applicable only when this resolvent kernel, this is an infinite series. This infinite series is convergent, or this series has a closed form. Then only we can represent y, then only we can find y of x. Okay, anyway, we will see such problems. So this is called resolvent kernel. Okay, then okay, once we have resolvent kernel in a closed form, then you can find the solution using this formula. Okay, this is the algorithm of solving Freedom integral equation using resolvent kernel method. Okay, this is an iterative process. So then the solution of one is given by, the solution is almost similar to our actual problem. Y of x is equal to f of x, the same term, plus lambda integral a to b. The main difference is inside the integration. The main difference is inside the integration. Our integrand is different. Instead of kxt, we substitute our resolvent kernel rxt lambda. Instead of unknown function y of t, we substitute f of t, because f of t is known. This is a known function. Okay, so now everything is known. F of x is known, lambda is known, rxt known, f of t is known. So you can evaluate this integral. Okay, by evaluating this integral, we will get the final solution yxt. You got it? So that is the procedure of this method. Repeat it. So this is a Volterra type integral equation. Then in this method, first we have to find the iterated kernels k1, k2, k3, etc. Using this formula. Once you get the k1, k2, k3, etc., you can find the resolvent kernel using this formula. That is nothing, k1 plus lambda k2 plus lambda square k3 plus etc. This one. Okay, if this infinite series is convergent, then we can find the solution using this formula. If it is not convergent, we can find it. Okay, if it is convergent, then we can find the solution using this formula. And another interesting thing is, sometimes this infinite series is convergent for special values of lambda. Sometimes this infinite series is convergent only for special types of lambda. Okay, അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് അത്തരം ലാംഡയ്ക്ക് മാത്രമാണ് സൊല്യൂഷൻസ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നുള്ളൂ. Okay, so this is the algorithm for finding the solution of a Freedom integral equation using resolvent kernel. Next we will see a problem. Solve y of x is equal to 1 plus integral 0 to 1 x dy of t dt. Okay, In our standard form, our problem is like this: y of x is equal to sum f of x plus lambda times integral a to b kxt kernel is a function of x and t, y of t dt. Okay, so comparing with this our standard form, here f of x, actually here f of x is 1, clear. And what about lambda? If we comparing this problem, given problem, with the standard form, what is lambda?
1.
Lambda is 1. Okay, lambda is 1. And what about our kernel kxt, kernel of the problem?
XT.
Xt. So by comparing the standard form, now we have f of x is 1, lambda is 1, kernel is xt. Okay, anyway, we have to find iterated kernels. We know that k1 of xt is same as kxt and kxt is xt. So k1 is okay, xt. Then how to find k2? K2 of xt is defined like this. What is the definition? Integral a to b. So here a to b means 0 to 1. Integral 0 to 1. The definition is k xs into k1 of st ds. So here 0 to 1. What is kxs? What is this one? Kxs?
XS.
xs. We just replacing t by s. Okay. Into k1 of st. What is k1 of st? Yeah, that is st ds. Okay, now we can easily integrate this one because this integration is with respect to s. So we can treat x and t are constants. So xt into integral s square is s cube by 3 and 0 to 1, that is 1 by 3. So this becomes xt by 3. Okay, so the second iterated kernel is xt by 3, but now we have no pattern. First one is xt, second one is xt by 3. We don't know what is the shape of this pattern. Okay, so to understand the shape of this pattern, we have to find one more kernel k3. Okay, please evaluate k3. What is k3 of xt? Using its formula, integral 0 to 1. What is the value of k3? Just do it yourself. 0 to 1 k xs into k2 of st. Yes. What is the value? What is k3? It's a very simple integration.
XT by 9.
Yeah, that
XT
is,
by
yes, xt by 9 or xt by 3 square, because to identify a pattern, actually extra 1 by 3 is there. Okay, so I think now you have what is the pattern of this infinite sequence. Okay, then my question, what is k4? Without computing, what is k4? Using
XT by 3.
yeah, that is xt by 3 cube. Yes, now we know what is the pattern of this infinite series. Now we are ready to define our resolvent kernel. Okay, so next we are going to define our resolvent kernel. So this is our first step. Then second step is we have to find the resolvent kernel. So resolvent kernel is rxt lambda. In this problem, lambda is 1, so you can take it rxt1. Okay, rxt1 is nothing, it is sigma k n xt into lambda raised to n minus 1. That is same as in infinite series form, that is k1 plus lambda k2 plus lambda square k3, etc. So in this case, what is our k1? K1 is xt plus lambdas are 1, so it's okay. x2 become xt by 3 plus xt by 3 square plus etc. And this is equal to xt is common, you can take outside. This will become xt into 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square, etc. Now this is an infinite series. Xt times 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square, etc. Okay, what is the closed form of this infinite series? So Rxt lambda Rxt1 is equal to xt into what is 1 plus, what is the value of, what is 1 plus x square plus etc. What is 1 plus x square plus etc. That is equal to 1 by 1 minus x. Okay, 1 by 1 minus x, and this infinite series is convergent to 1 by 1 minus x only when its mod x is less than 1. Okay, very standard series 1 plus x square plus etc. is equal to 1 by 1 minus x, and this infinite series is converges to this number, this closed function 1 by 1 minus x only when mod x is less than 1. Okay, and what about this problem? In this case, what is instead of x here, it is the value is 1 by 3, right? 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square, etc. We know that 1 by 3 is less than 1. It's clear that the 1 by 3 is less than 1. Modulus of 1 by 3 is less than 1. Okay, so this infinite series has a closed form. The closed form is 1 by 1 minus x. So it is 1 by 1 minus 1 by 3. Clear? So this is equal to, by taking LCM, this becomes 3 minus 1. That is 2 by 3. That is 3 by 2. So 3xt by 2. You got it? So Rxt1 is equal to 3xt by 2. Clear? So this is the resolvent kernel corresponding to this kxt. Okay, next we have to find the solution using our last form. What is the solution if resolvent kernel is known? Then the solution yxt is equal to okay, what is our solution? The solution yx is equal to there in the form the f of x. Here f of x is 1 plus integral 0 to 1. Everything is same except the kernel. Instead of this kxt, we used resolvent kernel, that is 3xt by 2 into instead of y of t, our f of x. What is f of t? What is f of t? F of x is 1, so f of t is also 1. Okay, our solution is like this: y of x is equal to f of x plus lambda integral a to b rxt into f of t dt. This is the solution. Okay, this function gives the solution. So here f of x is 1, so that's why this is 1 plus integral 0 to 1. Instead of kxt, we used rxt. Our rxt is 3xt by 2 plus y. Instead of y of t, we used f of t. Our f of x is 1, so this is 1 dt. Okay, upon simplification, we get the final solution. What is the final solution? Integrate, okay, please integrate this one. Integrate the, what is the final answer?
One plus 3x by 4.
Yeah, I think
1 plus x by 4.
yeah, 1 plus 3x by 4, right? So on simplification, we get yx equal to 1 plus 3x by 4. Okay, so so the one limitation of this problem is the iterated kernels. The resolvent kernel is an infinite series. If it is convergent, then only we can evaluate the closed form of the solution. Okay. There are several methods for solving Fredholm integral equations depending on the situation. So next problem, solve y of x is equal to e raised to minus x plus e by 4 integral minus 1 to plus 1 x e raised to t y of t dt. Okay. Sometimes the problem may be like this. Except this except this constant, they given some lambda. Okay, so we have to identify for which lambda the function has solution. Okay, that is from our convergence of the resolvent kernel. We can identify for which lambda our function has solution from our convergence of resolvent kernel. Okay, so anyway, in this problem, you can easily identify the kernel. Our kernel is kxt, that is equal to x e raised to t. Okay, the kernel is x e raised to t. Then what is okay? So k1 itself kxt. So k1 is also x e raised to t. Then we have to find k2 and k3. What is k2? What is k2? K2 is integral minus 1 to plus 1 kxt. Kxt is kxs, isn't it? Kxs, that is x e raised to s into k1 of st, that is s e raised to t ds. Integration is with respect to s, don't forget it. So what is k2? What is k2? Here x and e raised to t are constant with respect to s. So you can simply integrate. Okay. This is a constant. So you can simply integrate this one. The remaining time is s e raised to s ds. And using a simple parts. By integrating by parts, you can easily evaluate this one, x e raised to t into the first function s into integral of second, that is e raised to s, minus the integral of a derivative of this one, that is 1, integral of e raised to s is e raised to s itself. This is the integration of s e raised to s using parts, or you can apply the general rule of integration by parts, minus 1 to plus 1. Okay, upon simplification, what is a value? Simplify when s equal to 1, this term is 0, right? Minus, when s equal to minus 1, this is minus e raised to minus s minus e raised to minus s, that is minus 2 times e raised to minus s, and there is a one more minus, so that's become plus 2. So this become x e raised to t into 2 e raised to minus 1. Clear? 2 e raised to minus 1, that is x e raised to t into 2 by e. Okay. Similarly, we can find k3. K3 is minus 1 to plus 1. Kxs, that is x e raised to s into k2. K2 of st. What is k2 of st? What is k2 of st? What is a function? What is the second part of this integral?
Still.
S e raised to t into 2 by e. Right, because this is our k2. So k2 of st, not k2 of xt. This is actually k2 of st. Okay, so it is clear that 2 by x e raised to t is constant and 2 by e is also constant. The remaining term is integral -1 to +1 s e raised to s ds. This is same as this integral. The integrals are same. So its value remains same, that is 2 by e. So what happened? This is x e raised to t into 2 by e into 2 by e. That is x e raised to t into 2 by e square. Now we know what is the pattern of this kn. Now it is clear that what is k1, k2, k3 and k4. k4 is nothing, x e raised to t into 2 by e raised to 3. Okay, so you can find the rxt lambda. Rxt lambda. Here lambda is e by 4. What is the lambda? Here lambda is e by 4. Okay, so you can find rxt e by 4 using our formula sigma kn lambda raised to n minus 1. Okay, once you get the rxt lambda, what is the value of rxt lambda? Here, yeah, here rxt lambda is 2x e raised to t. Okay, by simplify we get it is 2x e raised to t. It is very clear because it's almost similar to the previous problem, because k1 of xt is x e raised to t plus next one x e raised to t into 2 by e plus etc. And here it is clear that x e raised to t is common. The remaining term is 1 plus 2 by e, 1 plus 2 by e plus 2 by e square etc. It is clear that 2 by e is less than 1. So we can use our same formula 1 plus x square etc. So this is become x e raised to t into 1 by 1 minus x, that is 2 by e. Okay, so upon simplification this become, oh, kernel is different now. Sorry, not this one. I think it is x e raised to t. Oh, yeah, sorry, I missed the lambda. Lambda fix ചെയ്യാൻ പറഞ്ഞു. So this is equal to x e raised to t plus lambda into lambda is e by 4. E by 4 x e raised to t 2 by e plus lambda square is e by 4 square x e raised to t 2 by e square etc. like this. Okay, now it's clear. Then this is equal to what happened? Okay, this is okay. You can cancel e. Okay, you can cancel it. This is 1 by 2. Yeah, here e square. You can cancel this e square and 2 square. The remaining part is 2. Okay, now the pattern is clear. X e raised to t is common. You can take outside. The remaining time is 1 plus, I think 1 by 2, isn't it? 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 square etc. Yes, anyway this is also in convergent form because 1 by 2 is less than 1. So its infinite sum is x e raised to t into 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2. That is 2. Yes, so this is 2 e raised to, oh sorry, this is correct. Yeah, so this is 1 by 1 minus 2, that is 1 by 1 by 2, that is 2. So 2 e raised to t. So resolvent kernel is 2x e raised to t. Okay, then using this resolvent kernel you can find the solution using which formula? Using this formula, y of x is equal to e raised to minus x plus lambda, that is e by 4 integral -1 to +1. Instead of kxt we use rxt. What is our rxt? That is 2x e raised to t into, instead of y of t we have to use f of t. So here f of x, this is our f of x, this is our f of x, this is f of t, this is f of t. So what is our f of t? E raised to minus t, e raised to minus t dt. Sorry, this is e raised to minus t. Yeah, this is e raised to minus t. So after simplifying this integral we get the final answer y of x. Okay, in some problems instead of giving this particular value they give some lambda. Okay, then we will find rxt lambda. Okay, so in this case what is rxt lambda? Okay, what is Rx T lambda? Rx T lambda. The only difference is there is no, okay, only difference is this is x e raised to t plus, instead of lambda, we instead of e by 4 we substitute lambda itself. Lambda x e raised to t, what is 2 by e, like, okay, plus lambda square x e raised to t 2 by e square plus etc. Okay, then what about this infinite series, that is x e raised to t 1 plus lambda 2 by e plus lambda 2 by e square plus etc. And what is the closed form of this infinite series? X e raised to t into, what is the closed form? This is also 1 plus x square plus etc. Okay, so its closed form is 1 by 1 minus 2 lambda e, but this infinite series is convergent only when lambda 2 by e is less than 1. Okay, there is an extra condition, because in this case we don't know what is the value of lambda, but this infinite series is convergent only when this common ratio, modulus of this common ratio should less than 1. Okay, so from this is equivalent to mod lambda is less than e by 2. Okay, so this infinite series has a this infinite series has a closed form only when mod lambda is less than e by 2. That means this problem, e raised to minus x plus lambda in lambda minus 1 to plus 1 x e raised to ty of t dt has solution only when the parameter value, modulus of the parameter value less than e by 2. Okay, anyway, you can solve this problem in general using instead of this particular value we can use lambda. Only one restriction, the problem has solution only when mod lambda less than equal. Okay, so once you get Rx T lambda, you can find the solution using our solution method y of x is equal to. Okay, ഇത്രയും കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഇതിനകത്ത്